Hello everyone, now I would like to introduce some functions of our Sapper Professional Edition. Next, I will show it through an example. First, we can see a conceptual diagram of the example. First, our input is a piece of buggy code, and the output is the corresponding test cases of this code. Next, we can take away several things from this diagram. First, to get the test cases corresponding to the buggy code, we need to cooperate with multiple AI chains. The first AI chain is code repair, which fixes some bugs existing in the code first. Then we think the control flow graph of the code would be helpful to generate test cases. So our second AI chain CFG generation is used to generate CFGs. Then we also think that the data flow graph of code can be generated based on CFG, and DFG contains more data flow information than CFG, so we design an AI chain for DFG generation. The obtained CFG and DFG information is then input into the AI chain of test cases generation. In addition, we design a reflection and optimization AI chain to evaluate the effect of the generated test case and optimize it. As a result, we get a large AI chain with multiple AI chains working together, which we can call chain of chain. Now, let's start building the chain of chain we just talked about. First, we click the Project Management button to import the first code repair AI chain. After importing, we can see that there are two workers in this AI chain, one for the fix buggy code and the other for the extract bug-free code in the concept graph. In each worker, there is an input, prompt, and AI model. Next, let's demonstrate how to build the prompt. First, click the Prompt Hub button on the right, and then click any position in the input box below in the pop-up window to jump to the Sapper Community Edition. We can see the structured form defined in advance in the jumped page, and then click the Run Prompt button following, click the Deploy Prompt button. At this time, we will find that the input box that was originally empty has been filled in with the structured prompt defined before. Then we can import the second AI chain CFG generation and modify its input. Next, import the third AI chain DFG generation, and then similarly import the fourth AI chain test case generation and modify its input variables. Finally, import the last AI chain reflection and optimization. However, in the concept diagram, our input is just a single code snippet, and in fact, it is already possible to enter multiple code snippets in Sapper Professional. We can click the Code button on the left, drag the fold building block out of the panel, and iteratively generate multiple code snippets through the for loop module. In this way, our entire chain of chain has been successfully built in Sapper Professional Edition. Meanwhile, in order to facilitate the observation and debugging of the output of each worker, we can add an output block for each worker. Finally, we can add a download block to download the final generated results. Now let's test by clicking the Run button in the upper left corner and upload the 5 buggy code files that need to generate the test cases. First of all, a functional worker fixes the bugs in the code, but according to the output of this worker, there will be some redundant text. So go through the next auxiliary worker to clear the excess text. After clearing the excess text in the code, you can see the dot representation of the node and edge where the CFG was generated. Then, in the next AI chain, the def use information in the code is extracted and the DFG of the code is generated. The test cases of the code are then generated in the next AI chain. Finally, a scoring mechanism will be used to reflect on the generated test case. That is, the generated test case will be scored based on the assessment of whether the test case covers the basic path and some edge cases in the code. As you can see from the output, the generated test case is 9.5 because one of the cases is missing. Since the score threshold we set was 9.9 points, we also needed to optimize the generated test cases. The optimized test cases supplemented the missing cases, and the score scored again was 10.0 points. Finally, with the final result, the final test case is downloaded to a local file. When we open the downloaded file, we can see the optimized test case output of the entire chain of chain. To sum up, this is our entire demonstration process of building chain of chain using Sapper Professional Edition.